other than South Australia, the vesting date with most of these modern discretionary trusts is usually up to the perpetuity period of 80 years. But sometimes we see trusts which have a vesting date linked to a life in being plus, say, 21 years. And sometimes it seems the drafter has perhaps estimated the life expectancy of someone and picked a particular date, a date certain in the future when the trust must vest. Now, there might be a specific clause in a trust which permits the trustee, with or without the consent of somebody else, to extend that vesting date. So if there's a perpetuity period of 80 years, but the vesting date, for whatever reason, is currently stated to be, say, 40 years, then the trustee might be empowered to extend up to the 80 years. There might not be a specific clause about that, though, but still some sort of variation clause. So there might be a clause which permits the trustee to vary the trusts of the trust, as distinct from vary the powers. And that vesting date, I would suggest, is one of the trusts of the trust. So we might be able to extend the vesting date that way. Alternatively, if we don't have those powers in the trustee, there can be an application to the court to approve a variation or a change to the trust, if that's for the benefit of particular people and where it's shown to be proper and fair. And that question of whether it's for the benefit of particular people is where there's a lot of interesting discussion, because that might be a benefit because more beneficiaries can be born, or there can be more distributions before the vesting date. It might also be that it promotes family harmony between the beneficiaries. So that idea of a benefit's an interesting one. I should also add, Rob, that just because one of the purposes for seeking an extension of the vesting date is to, for example, defer a taxation consequence, that's not necessarily something which should prompt the court to hesitate in approving the arrangement.
Ed, thank you very much. A lot of food for thought there, and something I know that you'll be discussing further at your presentation in February. We've been listening to Ed Skilton, who's been talking about varying the vesting date on discretionary trusts, and he'll be speaking at our Wills and Estates conference on the 13th and 14th of February 2025. If you'd like to register for that conference, please go to our website, tved.net.au, and find the conference, and you can register online. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Rob.